Hello everyone. So today I'm here to talk about my biggest problems with Monster Hunter Wilds. My last video where I read a lot of the lowest review scores, people said I was glazing the game too hard and saying it was basically perfect, which I wasn't, but that's besides the point. In this video, I'm gonna do the complete opposite of glazing Wilds. So here are my biggest problems I have with Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm gonna talk about a lot of endgame mechanics in this game, and if you're wondering why the gameplay is just me using like rarity 6 weapons and shit, like very low rank weapons and stuff, is because this is old gameplay. So yeah. Endgame content. Of course the grind is there, but it took me less than 100 hours to kind of start to feel like I didn't have much else to do. I made all the Ardian weapons I wanted at this point, and yes, I could branch out and make some more, but I made Ardian weapon builds for about 8 of the 14 weapons in the game, and the other 6 weapons I am simply just not interested in. I also made all the armor I wanted / felt like I needed, and I don't recall being done with crafting builds so fast in Rise, but I know base Rise wasn't complete when it came out, so comparably it may have been about the same amount of content as Rise, but truthfully I don't remember. But what I do remember is that I put at least 250 hours into base Rise before Sunbreak released, and probably shave off about 70 of those hours of being done with the grind and just me playing for fun. So I have a little under 100 hours in Wilds, and honestly I feel like I'm done with it. Like not done period forever or anything. I was just expecting it to have a bit more content, and one of the things I was sure they would have in the end game is more frenzied monsters. There is only 5 frenzied monsters in the game, and they're all pretty low tier monsters. Like, they're not difficult at all. I don't know if I've literally ever carded to a frenzied monster at all. And when I fought the first frenzied monster they introduced you to in the arena, I think it was Nursilla or Hirobami, one of the two, I thought that there would be a frenzied variant of almost every monster in the game. That's what I first thought. I thought that would be the end game. I thought there would be tempered monsters and then frenzied monsters on top of that, but they literally didn't use frenzied monsters almost at all, which I haven't even seen anyone else complain about actually. I'm sure they'll add more, but it's just strange that they even included these 5 frenzied monsters at all, because like if there's no reason to kill them in particular, really, like, yeah, you get frenzy shards, but that's pretty much it. It's like not many weapons need frenzy shards, and besides that, there's no other reason to kill them, and they're not difficult, so you don't really, in my opinion, have that much fun fighting them either because they're so easy. Monster biomes. A lot of the monsters seem locked to certain biomes, and before you say it, yes, I know that's the point. For certain monsters, the apex is always in their own biome, like Uthduna and Raidal, but explain to me why Gormagala is locked to the Ice Shard Cliffs. Why are Guardian monsters locked to Ruins of Wyveria? I know they're like artificial monsters or whatever, and that's where they come from, but I don't think it would go against the story to have them in a few other areas. Why is Zuwu, I don't even know that's how you say it, maybe it's Shuwu, I'm not sure. Why is that, you know, the octopus, why is he only in Ruins of Wyveria? He's just a fucking octopus. I don't see why I can't fight him anywhere else. Is it literally because of the other biomes don't have cracks in the walls for him to like squeeze through? I mean, and that doesn't really hold up either though, because there's cracks in the walls on Oil Well Basin because New Udra is there. So why can't we fight Zuwu on Oil Well Basin? This is what I'm talking about. Personally, I really like the Scarlet Forest. It's probably my favorite area in any Monster Hunter game to date, but I feel like I'm never fighting there. Like, it feels like none of the actually tough monsters, which isn't many, admittedly, go to the Scarlet Forest, which is disappointing for me. So yeah, I honestly wish all monsters except maybe apexes could be on majority of the maps. Maybe not every single one, but majority. I don't think anyone would mind if that were the case. I mean, what do you care more about? The continuity of the story in Monster Hunter or variety? Okay, so this is a bonus entry because it's very subjective and arguably doesn't matter too much. The lack of layered weapons. I think this is really disappointing. Not just because I want my weapons to look cool, but because your endgame builds will 95% of the time be using Ardian weapons, and after a while I just genuinely get tired of just looking at Ardian weapons. They made such good designs for the weapons in this game, and we can't see most of them because you're always running Ardian weapons. I mean, they're the best in the game. So for the most part, I think there's been like one case where like I prefer to use a normal monster weapon, but for the most part Ardian weapons are always top tier. And don't get me wrong, some of the Ardian weapons look really cool, but I just get tired of looking at them. Like I said, I know this is a non-issue for a lot of people. A lot of you guys probably could give a fuck less, which is why this is a bonus entry. It's just a small thing I don't like. Difficulty. So people are saying Wilds is by far the easiest Monster Hunter game, but from my memory, I feel like Base Rise was about the same difficulty as Wilds, but that doesn't mean it's not too easy. Even fighting 5-star monsters is still kind of a cakewalk for 90% of the roster, if you're not a newcomer, that is. The only monsters that really genuinely give me trouble are 5-star Tempered Gormagala and 5-star Tempered Arkveld, mostly Gormagala. Every other monster is just kind of a walk in the park, to be honest. I have seen multiple people saying even Gormagala is easy for them, like, oh, I never carded once to Gormagala. You're full of shit. Do me a favor, if you think Gormagala is easy, try finding a tempered 5-star variant of him. That shit is hard. No, I'm not saying he's Fatalis from World or anything. I'm not saying he's the hardest monster in the game, but he's a whole different league from the rest of the monsters in the game. Why isn't there more monsters along the same difficulty as Gore? And me and my friends have been almost exclusively fighting 5-star monsters after we found out rather recently that that's even a mechanic. And it does make the game a little more fun fighting just 5-star monsters, but as we got stronger, you know, got good Ardian weapons and whatnot, the 5-star monsters weren't much of a threat either. But yeah, that is about it. I really don't have too many negative things to say about Wilds. I love the game, and especially love the combat. The combat is the best it's ever been, in my opinion. But yes, the game does have issues, but I'm sure Capcom will circumvent a lot of these issues in future updates. So let me know what problems you guys have with the game that I may not have mentioned. I'm sure other people have more complaints that I don't, so I'd be curious to see what other people have to say. But yeah, that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.